Hello, everyone. Happy Wednesday, or hump day, as they say. Welcome to the live stream. Today I'm taking a request for today's recipe. So, a couple of people have asked me to do something with APIs. So today we're going to look at APIs. Specifically, we're going to look at how do you deserialize an API response so that you can more easily verify it or deal with the parts of the response. Also, there is a new experimental feature. Right now it's in preview mode in Java called records. So I've been wanting to play with that. So this gives a great opportunity where I can see if we could deserialize the response body into a record, a Java record. All right. Who's here? Anybody here? Go ahead, post in the chat if you're here. Let's see who's representing. Okay. Balaji is on YouTube representing Nigeria. Very nice. Hi, Doug. Hi, Navina. Hello, everybody. Hello. Are you rested this time? Last time you had a hectic day. Yes, this time is a much calmer day. Hello, cousin Amber. Karen, hello. Hello, Coretta. I see YouTube representing. I see Periscope representing. We have India in the building. Hello, Parita. Hello. Great. Hey, Narajani. Hello. All right. So great. We're going to get into the recipe today. So let's see. Hello from Florida. Hope everybody is staying safe as well. All right, so let me go ahead and share my screen and we'll get to cracking. Okay, so let's see. And I'll move this here. All right, so the API that I'm going to use is this Zippo Zippopotamus. But it's a cute little API that's public, so I like to use it for testing purposes. And with this, it allows you to basically give a zip code, and then it gives you information. So, for example, let's try one out. Oh, it just went straight to that. Okay, but this is like 90210. So this is the structure. Here's an example where you would just put in the country and then put in the zip code, and then you get the results back. So here would be like a JSON result. We see the postcode, the country abbreviation, and then this array of places. So that includes place name, longitude, state abbreviation, and latitude. All right. So we're just going to grab this API and we're going to go straight into making the call, the request. So I'm opening up IntelliJ now. And let's make a new package under here. Don't mind this. This is just stuff we've done in the last recipes. If you have not seen the last recipes, I have those videos available on my website, angiejones.tech. And I've written them as blog posts. So if video isn't your thing or you just need like a quick little reference right quick, then you can definitely check those out. All right, so let's make a new class and we'll call this zip code test. All right, great. So we'll make a first little test. And public void test. What is 902 Beverly Hills? Beverly Hills. All right. Okay, so I'm going to use this for my APIs. I'm going to use this library, which I adore, called RestAssured. It's a Java library to help you deal with making API requests and calls. Now you can do this sort of stuff like straight up in Java, but it's a little icky. It's a lot of like boilerplate code. So this library has done a good job of kind of wrapping all of that up. However, it does use like this given when then format, which I'm not like entirely in love with unless I'm doing BDD stuff, but whatever. So given is how you start your call. Oh, maybe I don't have this library in here. Let's see. Let's look at the POM file. So, oh, okay. I don't have RestAssured in here. So let's grab RestAssured. That's one of our ingredients. So we'll go to the web and I'm going to go to Maven repository and let's look for RestAssured. And here we go. I got this in my. Do y'all ever feel like this? Like I have something, this API in my buffer, my copy paste buffer, and I can like feel that. I don't know if that's like a weird sense of everybody does that, but like I could feel that I had something in my hand. So when I was about to copy something else, it was like, oh no, you better get rid of what's already in your hand. Okay, anyway, so here is the dependency. So let's go back and put this in our POM file. Okay, so this is an ingredient and we'll save that. And I'm going to probably need to refresh Maven so we can see it pop up. There it is. Very nice. Okay, lovely. All right, so now I should be able to import this. Yes, now it says you want to import this static method. So I can do a given dot and then call, like I can call get, I can call post, whatever method I want to call. So I'm going to call get and we'll go ahead and put this in here. And let's put that on a new line. All right, so if, why is it acting so ugly? All right. So if I get this, let's see what this gives me back. This gives me a response back. All right. Let's just store this inside of an object and print it out just to make sure everything is working really nicely. So I can do a response dot pretty print. So that's also a method on here, and we'll just make sure everything looks good. All right. So run this. Let's see if you all have questions while we're waiting on this. Oh, y'all are chatting up a storm. Okay, we have Brazil in the building. We have Chile in the building. We have Italy in the building. Hello, everyone. Someone is speaking in looks like Russian or something. I don't understand that. If anybody can like decipher that, or maybe it's, I don't know what language this is. Sorry. Hello, New Zealand. Hey, Ryan. Hello, Mark. Those are my friends. Hey, Leslie. How are you? Angie, is it okay if one framework, if we use like one framework for API and UI tests? Yes, I do that all the time. In fact, I've written a blog post. I'm sorry to like take y'all over here, but somebody actually tweeted this today and said like 2 times this week that they've recommended this to coworkers. It's actually a really good piece. All right, I'm gonna say y'all don't have to search too much. You can come here and then you could search something like hybrid. Let's see if that'll give it. Yeah. So this is the article you want. It's called Hybrid Tests, Blurring the Lines of the Automation Pyramid. But I basically go through how you would basically put like UI and API in your test. And I use like the API stuff to do like setup, sometimes some verification stuff. But yeah, it's a really good practice. All right. Somebody said they feel the same about the copy paste. Good. Yeah, I don't know. It's some kind of sense, right? Um, you are welcome, Candace. VAR, yes. Okay, somebody said something about VAR. I'm glad you know. So I'll be dropping gems in this little stream, child. So Java has like a whole bunch of new cool stuff. Java is like releasing every 6 months now, and so it's hard to keep up. I'm actually doing a webinar next week. I'm gonna have to get you all the link for that, but it's with Tools. And I'll send out, if you're like subscribed to my newsletter, you'll get a notification about it. But I'm doing the webinar next week. It's called Beyond Java 8. So I'll touch on some of these things like VAR and stuff like that. But yeah, I love this. This is probably one of my favorite new features in Java. All right. Hey, Michigan in the building. Hello, Rex, one of our TAU instructors. Romania is also in the building. Yes, that was Russian that I was talking about. Mark, you know Rex? Mark talking about young Rex in the building. How y'all know each other? Okay, I need to get that story on the back end. Hello, Argentina, Malaysia, 3 a.m. Hello, thank you so much for coming. Um, Ryan is saying he's not a novice. What is a good strategy for picking? Oh, he is a novice. Uh, what's a good strategy for picking libraries? So I look for things, we all like open source stuff. But if I'm using an open source library, I wanted to have some maturity to it. So like I'll play around with somebody's new cool open source library, but I won't use it in production unless I'm sure it's going to be around and have support for a while. So that's one of my key factors. Also, like how well does it integrate with my language choice? So if I'm using Java or JavaScript, I want to make sure it's not like too cumbersome to integrate with what I'm doing. The stars on the repo, adoption, are people writing about it? Will I be able to find help if I need to? Those sorts of things. Another Nigeria in the building. This is my son as well. Hello. NC. Hello, everybody. All right, great. Okay, so we got the pretty print here. Let me show you. Can we move this up? Yes, so this has printed out the response. So just like we saw on the website. So we know that RestAssured is working properly, very nicely. Now, if I wanted to verify this response, this is where things start getting a little tricky, right? I don't want to have to call or make assertion calls on every single field here, or even multiple fields. Like there's some people who will say things like, why do we have to verify all the fields? Here's my school of thought on this. Let me know if y'all feel different in the comments. But if something is part of your response, like why would you not verify it? Why is it a part of the response if it's irrelevant information? So I always like to verify my entire response or whatever. Some people disagree with that. I don't know why. Maybe they have good reasons, but if something is part of the response, it must be useful to some caller, right? So that's my thought. Anyway, in order to verify this entire response, I like to deserialize this. And what that means is to take this, and instead of this being separate fields, because if I wanted to verify a field, I would have to say, give me the body, and then I would have to, let's see. I would have to like get the JSON of it, I think. And then I would have to like pull out certain things, like give me the postcode and verify it and pull out the country. And that's where we start getting like lazy. And people, that might be the argument of why people don't verify everything, because they just don't feel like it. And that's valid, right? So to deserialize this means to turn this into an object. And usually we do like what's called a POJO, POJO, and what that stands for is plain old Java object, and it only consists of like the fields in the getter and setter methods, right? So these are like kind of tedious to make, but I could do so. Let's go ahead and do that now. Actually, I'm going to make a new package here and we'll call it, where's new? New package. And we'll call this model. So these represent something, right? Like, so this represents like a model of this response. And we'll just call this something like, I don't know. What's this? A zip? Well, it's not really a zip code. What? Maybe a location. That sounds good. Location. All right. Great. Okay, so we have our location here, and I'm going to look at these fields, and we're going to make some fields for these. So we'll say, and the data type is whatever is here. So you see these are in quotes, so I know that this is a string. So I can say string postcode, string country, string country, yes, abbreviation. So see how, it's not the funnest thing ever. This places is, so this is an array of objects, looks like. So I'll make this like, let's call it a list of a new object called place. So we'll have to not only make this location to represent the entire JSON, but we'll also have to make now a place object for these things. So we'll just call that place. All right, and let's go ahead and create, before we do that, we need getters and setters for this. So here's a little tip. If you're using IntelliJ, and probably Eclipse allows you to do this too. Now, I used to just like hand code all of the getters and setters for this, which is so painful. But in IntelliJ, I can do a generate. So I just did a right click anywhere in the file, and you can generate a bunch of stuff here. So you can generate constructors and getters and setters. So I'm going to say getters and setters, and it shows me all of the fields that I have, and I say, yes, make me getters and setters. So it did, which is nice. All right. So I'm going to now create this place. We'll put this in models as well. And let's get, where is my console? Okay. So place has a string called place name, a string called longitude. I guess I could copy, but that just feels like so much effort. State, state abbreviation, and latitude. Latitude. All right. Okay, so that should cover it. And then let's go ahead and do our getters and setters for this one too. And generate everything. Yes. All right. Cool. So let's make sure this works now. I just need to import list. So that's from Java Util. And voila. Now that I have this, I should be able to take this response and deserialize it. So I said .get, which makes the call, and then I can do one more kind of chained call on here. I can say as. And when I say as, I can put in the class that represents this model. So location.class, and we just need to import this location. And this should, we'll call this not response anymore, but location. And for the person who was asking about the var, so look at this. If I hover over this, it knows that location's data type is actually location. So it pulls it from whatever's on the right side and determines like, what is this equal? So instead of me saying location, which is like redundant, I can just use the var. All right. So let's go ahead and what do we want to do? We want to make sure that, let's say, location dot, and then look here. Now from that response, I can just call on these methods here. So this is really cool. I can do something like get country. Let's print that out. That was another little IntelliJ trick. Trisha would be so proud of me. If anybody knows Trisha, Ryan knows Trisha. Ryan, tell Trisha that I'm out here like flaunting IntelliJ. So Trisha is a deaf advocate for IntelliJ. They make some cool stuff. All right, so let's not only print that out, but I want you to see this whole object. So we'll do a debug this time. All right. So let's look at this location and see it has, it has like, it found the United States, but some of the stuff is null. So postcode is null, country abbreviation. I know why these two are null is because when you deserialize this, where was that response? I should have kept that. But on the response, like these were, let me see, it might still be here. Yeah, on the response, these are 2 words, postcode. So it needs to match the variable exactly. And then Java, and I don't know any other languages where you can put a space in a variable name. You can't, right? So you would have to say like, underscore or camel case or something like that. So we need another library. So this will be another ingredient. And what that is supposed to do is then map. You can map certain fields to your variables. So that one is called the Jackson library. But before we go there, let's go to the questions. All right. Usually used to wait for weekends, now Wednesday as well. Oh, thank you. That's so kind. Ireland's in the building. Hello. This that know your response. Oh, I should have did New Orleans. Oh, hey Justin. That's my hometown, New Orleans. I should have did that. Is it worth it to validate the responses schema? I don't know about the schema. Perhaps in some cases, but I would say like think about how your customers are going to utilize this. Usually, they are, querying for the fields that they are expecting in the response. It doesn't really matter the order and stuff like that. So as long as you're verifying the data, I think that should be sufficient. That feels like coding cheat codes. Yes, IntelliJ has cheat codes. We love them. What platform is this on? I don't know what question you're asking. Are you asking about the stream? If so, it's streaming to YouTube, Periscope, and Twitch. And I'm using IntelliJ in Java. Oh, okay. Ryan helped her. Yes. Okay. Is there a recording of this somewhere? I came a bit late. Yes. So the recording will be available on all those same streams. So YouTube, Periscope, and Twitch. Yeah, the recordings will be there, and I'll also have it on my site as well. All right, great. You DM Trisha. Thank you, sir. All right, great. So we need to go get that Jackson library, which is another ingredient. So we're going back to Maven, and let's see, something like Jackson. Yes, this faster XML Jackson. The data bind one is the one we need because we want to bind our fields to our variables. So let's grab the latest one, and we're going to add that to our POM file. All right, so that's yet another dependency. And let's go ahead and refresh. Oh, look at this. Is this new? That might be new. I upgraded my IntelliJ instance. And they have like some new cool features, it looks like. All right, so great. Now that we have that library, we can go inside of here, and for all of the methods that have, like, the fields would have been 2 words in the response, we have to do a little binding there. So the code to do that, we just do an annotation over the getter, both the getter and the setter. And that annotation is this JSON property. And inside of here, we put what's the field name in the API response. So the field name in the API response is post space code. So we're saying map that to the post code. All right. And then we don't have to do it for country because there's no spaces. We do need to do it for country abbreviation. So country abbreviation. We put that again on both the get and the set. All right. Great. And let me see, because that place was null too. And that was concerning. This is called places with an S. So you see how it has to be tight. You can't just make stuff up. So let's put S's on all this stuff. All right, cool. And then we need to do that same thing in this class for anything that has a space. So place name and state abbreviation. I know this is a little painful, and I'm hoping that records is going to help us out. So I'm just going through this so that we can feel the pain together, and then we can be wild together if the record stuff works. All right, now let's try executing again and see if we filled in some of those null values now. All right. So, we got 90210. So that was one that has a space. And then for places, everything is filled out. So this is wonderful. Now, what you would actually do if you wanted to verify this, since it's nice and it's in an object, you could basically create an object. Oops. Let's stop this. You can create an object that represents that. So let's call that one, let's just call it LA. And we could say new location. Oh, I don't have a constructor, do I? So I could make one. See how much this starts becoming like annoying at that point. I'm not going to do that because I don't feel like it. But you get the point. Like I could do like var LA equals new location. And I could create a constructor that took all of those arguments. So basically that's my expected result. And then I could just do an assert equals on LA in this return location and make sure that they were equal. All right. But I want to get to the records part. So let's jump into that. So we're now on Java 14. That came out in March. And one of the features, the only one that I actually have any interest in, is the records feature. So the records feature is no longer a class. It's now this new type of structure, which is called a record. And the reason that they created records is because they realized that classes like this are just boilerplate stuff. Basically, this is just some fields and some getters and setters, and it was tedious to write. That was not fun. So you be able to create a record You specify the fields, but you don't have to create any of the methods. They're just there for you. Not only that, but they also include like the equals method and the hash code method. So when you have a POJO, like I wanted to do a equals right here to make sure these two objects were the same, there's no guarantee that when we try to compare these that they would actually be the same unless I manually overrid the equals method of this class and basically said, make sure that every single field is equal to what was passed in, which again is a lot of code and it's all boilerplate. So what we're going to do now, I'm going to grab this. Let's just put it right here for right now, because I'm going to delete those classes that we just did all that hard work on. Copy. And I'm just moving it there temporarily. Like, don't think I'm doing anything cute. All right. I'm going to delete these two. Because that's like the current way. But now we're going to see, can we use records instead of the POJOs? So let's delete this. I know. Delete it anyway. And IntelliJ is like, girl, what you doing? You're messing your stuff up. I know. Yes. I'm sure. All right. So, first of all, another ingredient, if you want to use records, you have to use at least Java 14. So that's the latest one out. But the next one comes 6 months from March. So whatever month that is. And records, again, it's a preview feature, meaning you can play around with it, but like don't get married to it yet. It could go away, based on the feedback that they get from the community. It could change. The implementation of it can change based on the feedback they get from the community. So that's what they're trying out, to like put out the features as part of like previews, and you can play around with it. We can get some feedback. So if you have any feedback and you want me to put it out there, or, I have some, I can put it out there. We'll see. All right. So first of all, let's make sure that I have the right version of Java that I'm using. I saw I was running 14, but I want to see this. So this is 14 with switch expressions. Switch expressions is the solid. This was preview for a while, but now it's actually released, right? So that's in 14. And then the rest of these things, text blocks too. The rest of these things are previews. So this is something I care about, but that came out in 13 preview. But let's change to this one so that we can utilize those experimental features. All right. So once we do that, let's see. Now if we say new, we want to say Java class. It's still not here. So it should have like something here that says like record. Let me see. There's a couple of spots in IntelliJ. So 14. Let's just make sure. Yeah. Okay, we could just hard code it then, but we could do, this version. I don't know. I might have to, I don't know. It should have been there, but let's just do this. Let's just make a regular class. And we'll say location again. But we're going to change this from class. Remember, it's not a class, to record. I need this to work, otherwise it won't know what I'm doing. So, hold on. Class or interface. Yeah, it's not knowing that I'm using the right one. So let's make sure we got what we need. Yeah, so I'm saying I want to use 14. I might have to do this other little trick too. So that's the thing I don't like about, don't tell Trisha this part. or maybe teller. But I don't like, yeah, that's 14. I don't like, when I'm trying to change my versions, IntelliJ doesn't make that very easy for me. We looked at this. I think I might have to see like preview something something. Do I keep going to the same thing? Preferences maybe. All right, so in this Java compiler, there's something you could do like preview. Let me see if I can find it. IntelliJ preview um, syntax. Somebody know? If somebody know in the chat, let me know. Somebody say try restarting IntelliJ. Somebody say probably should tell Trisha. Yeah, tell Trisha. How horrible it is because does the record have a setter? Yes, the records have setters. Maybe you need to enable. Yeah, that's what I want to do. Enable preview. Let's see. IntelliJ enable preview. Preview. Yeah, this. All right. So where's the syntax? Here we go. Enable preview. And do you have to say the number or something like that? No, you just do like this. Okay. All right. This is good information to know, right? So let's do this and apply. Okay. And you still don't like that. Let's see. Yeah, it's still not there. May need to invalidate the cache or something. Let's see. Okay, let's see. Rebuild project. Let's see if that does anything for us. Okay. Invalid flag. Isn't it 2? Wasn't it 2? 2 dashes? Yeah, 2 dashes. Okay. All right. Preferences. Yeah. Dash dash. Apply. Okay. It's still acting goofy. Let's rebuild again. Okay. Cannot find symbol because this is places. Okay. What is this? What is this stuff? This is my zip code test. Oh, yeah, we could get rid of this stuff. Let's just comment that out. Any other errors here? So you all get to see like the fun of me like struggling through doing something new, which we all do. Let's see if it's there now. Still not there. All right, I'm going to restart IntelliJ. Oh, somebody said let me go through y'all ideas first. Okay. Maybe project structure. Okay. Project structure. Project language. So project 14, we got that. Should also be preview version. Yeah, we got that. All right. So it should be good there. Let's just maybe redo this too. Who else has some ideas? Go to preferences, select compiler. I think we got that already. Preferences, compiler. Yeah, we're at 14 already. All right. And you have to manually add. No, when I use this stuff, other than like enable, oh, somebody got me a blog post, honey. Let me see. I don't know if I could comment this. IntelliJ, I'm gonna have to type it in. I can't copy your thing. So it was He has a good site. Dong. IntelliJ. Change Java version. All right. File project structure. We did that, right? We did this. Select a new JDK. Common gotchas. Okay. We should remember that this only affects the JDK using IntelliJ. Changing this does not do the build tool. So when using Maven, changing the product JDK will not change the JVM for those build tools. All right. So what do I do? Why, sir? We illustrate two ways. Where the ways at? Okay, tell him I didn't like this to learn about the structure. Go there. I did all that. All right. Who else got an idea? Um Another thing. Add enable proof. Oh, that's too much. All right. Thank y'all. um all right, so we did that much. Let's try to just restart this thing and see if that gets us anything. So we've done all of that. And I'm gonna check this one more time. And see, there's too many places I gotta go to. Um, Preferences. Okay, yeah, I got that. All right, so let's just restart. All right. Oh, look at this. Newer IDE versions. When Java 15 support for 14 will be dropped. Okay, I know that. That's fine. Annoying class or record. Our interface expected. Okay, let me see something. Because I've used text blocks in another project. So let me see if I can find that project. Let's see. Open. Let me put this on the other side because I don't want y'all all in my business. Let me see. Somebody entertain the crowd while I look in my other projects. Let's see. Do y'all still see my business? Okay, y'all don't see my business. Do y'all? Okay. Okay. This is um so we say project structure 14 is the language level. Like we have project is 14. Everything is 14. And let's see, in the palm. Okay, somebody did say this earlier, actually. Said to use this plugin. All right, so let's go back here. I don't know if this is gonna help or not. And plugin goes where? Under the version. I can change this to 14 maybe. See what this does for us. Okay, everybody cross your fingers. All right, that's done. Is this still whining? Ah! New class. Yeah, it's really not there. All right, I could probably just move to my other project where I have this set up. Let's just do that. And then I'll try to figure out like why it's barking at y'all later. So hold on. Do 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 do. All right, so I'm moving stuff. Over here. Do 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 do. All right. Alrighty, let's rename this to do 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 do. All right. Okay, let's see. Let's close this guy and all right. So let's try this again. Let's just comment this stuff out so people will stop barking at me. All right, y'all still with me? All right, everybody, fingers crossed. Cross your fingers. All right, so let's first of all make sure everything is set. 14. I think I want this one, right? Apply. Okay. What is this whining about? Public. All right. And here we want to say new Java class. Ah, look at that. Record feature. Okay, good. We're back cooking with grease. Look at somebody all excited. That's it. Oh, somebody said comments on JetBrains website suggest that Java 14 records were broken in a recent IDE update. So that might be it. All right, so y'all don't blame me. Congratulations. Oh, look at Restream is saying I got 100 messages. Oh, nice. Thank you, Restream. It's not the time, but I guess we'll take like any celebration we can get. All right, cool. So we're cooking with grease now. I'm gonna send this whole little snippet to Trisha to bring back to her team. Okay, do it. Lord. Okay. New class record. Oh, I gotta give the name. Duh. Okay, so location. It didn't got me all stirred up, child. All right. Now we back. Let's let me get my confidence back up. Okay. I tell you, code will humble you, child. All right. So inside of this thing, we place those things. So these were the ones from, and I'll just cut that, from the location. So we put all the fields that we want, but we put those as, let's see, I think it's a comma, and then country, abbreviation, and let's see. Okay, cool. And now we need and that's it. Like that would be basically the record. So you just specify these are the fields I want, but you don't have to put like any getters. You don't need any setters. You don't need any constructors. You can put stuff right here if you wanted to. Like you could add any method you wanted to inside of this body, but you don't have to for your regular just POJO type of stuff. And that's what records are supposed to help you with. I don't have to override the equals. I don't have to override the hash one. So that's pretty neat. All right. And then let's see what else. We can make another record, this time called places. And let's get the other things here. So inside of there, we'll go boom. We'll uncomment this. We'll change this to comma. Place all except this one. All right. And boom, that's done too. And that's the record. Autos, I think, right? Okay, that's the record. So now let's see if we're going to be able to deserialize into this location. So if we do this again, should be the same. Oh darn, I should have copied that. So here I can like give the stuff that I want to verify. But before we do that, let's just make sure this works before we get too crazy, right? Okay, so now, like I should have did this before, but when I was using the class, if I would have just printed out location using the location class, that would have printed out just the memory location to the object. But since technically records is supposed to override the equals method and the toString and all of that stuff, I should get like a really pretty one. So if I said print this out, let's see what happens, if it'll give me the object or the data. So let's just run this. All right. Okay, so it's talking about that binding because we didn't put the space stuff there. So that's to be expected. So it looks like that's still the case in records where you have to do that JSON piece. So, but you don't have any getters and setters here, remember? So in the class, we put the JSON property above the getter and setter methods. So let's see if I can just like JSON property, and then postcode. Just put it next to it. And this is, even if this is what I need to do, it's much easier than I was doing before with those methods. So here, and then why did all this stuff move over? All right. And this one too, right? Place name. Okay, so let's see if that works. Fingers crossed. All right, we got a little bit more. Invalid type, argument, a constructor, blah, blah, blah. Null has no property. Annotation must, blah, blah, blah. All right. So let's make sure that we can utilize, because we're doing some new stuff here. Let's make sure that this is even supported. Because like I said, this is a preview feature. So let's look for Java records. Maybe like with Jackson. Okay. So this is the Jackson project. And look, somebody's saying like support. They've opened a ticket for support for this. So it looks like it's not supported out of the box, but they're saying you can put this on top to say auto detect. All right, so let's see if that does something for us. Support that. And I guess we'll put it here too. All right. And now let's run. And same error. Okay. So let's see if anybody else has something to say. Interesting. I wanted to check if records could be deserialized out of the box. Turns out using the fields, this works because of something, something, something. All right. So it looks like you notice, remember I was saying, if you want to use JSON property, use it to bind it to the ones that have a space because the names are different. But it looks like he's saying you can bind it to like everything. So let's see if that's true. So if so, it's a little bit verbose, but let's just see. Longitude and state and latitude. All right. And then let's do that in location too. Country and places. All right. Let's try that much. Fingers crossed. Duplicate creator property. Oh, okay, that's better, right? That's a different error. We take what we get. Let's make sure everything else is right. And this shouldn't be postcode. This should be state abbreviation. All right. Now let's run it. It's green. And it found everything. So yes. Okay. Let's go and give that person a reaction. I'm dramatic, so we're gonna be like, all right. So okay, great. So now we have basically used the new Java preview records to deserialize a API response. Let me make sure it still works. So I should be able to now like create okay, very nice. I can create this new thing. Let's look at like basically using a record in something else. So I should be able to just give it the stuff. Let's see. So I need the thing again. So I can just do like 90210 United States US And then the places is a new object. So new places, as a list, right? So let's say list out of new places. And then what goes in places? Beverly Hills. And this longitude. And California. And CA. Oops, that gotta be a string. All right. So this closes the whole thing. All right. So this is like what I'm expecting, right? I'm expecting, and this is Beverly Hills, LA. Let's just call it LA. And then I can say, in fact, let's just call this expected location. And then I'm going to compare the two. So I can say assert equals, and remember that equals method is overwritten by default in those records. So hopefully it's going to make sure everything is equal here. So we're going to say LA with expected location. And let's see if this works. So we run again. Okay. Red. And let's see. Oh, I typed something wrong. That's good because I want to make sure my stuff fails when it's supposed to fail. 90210. And let's make sure everything else is right. Okay. So let's run one more time. We should be green now. That was a 2-for-1 special right there. Green. All right. So that means it like the equals method actually works. So that's beautiful. So that's how we can deserialize an API response into a record as opposed to a POJO. So much less code. There is a little hack, it seems. So for every property, you have to bind it. But hopefully this is open, but hopefully they're going to fix this bug, or not bug. That's not fair. But 14 is, this is a preview feature in 14. So they probably want to wait before they actually put in the work to do this. So yeah, we definitely want to hold out for that. But in the meantime, this is the hack. All right. Great. Any questions? Let's see. Somebody said I say blah 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 a lot too when I'm reading. Did I say blah blah blah? I probably did. I do that a lot. Okay, somebody is fed up. There should be a built-in handler for JSON in Java by now. Give me a break. I know. Java is coming along nicely though. Oh, you are not happy. Come on, it's 2020. You're funny. You could create a mini series on this alone. I'm loving this because it confirms that I'm not the only one that gets headaches. Yes, like I struggle all the time. Usually it's the stuff that I put out is pretty polished, but you don't know like the hours that I've beaten my head against a wall before I got it to that point. So that's what I like about these live streams. We can, it's a safe place to struggle. And, I consider myself an expert in Java. And yet, I couldn't even get my IDE to work. So there you go. Thank you very much. Wow, nice work. Thank you all for all your help. Okay. Do I have community version or the paid? I have the community version of this. I actually still do like some PHP development too on a side project I have, and I paid for the PHP, or what's it called? Something Storm. Maybe it's PHP Storm or something like that. That one they don't have a community or a free one. It was just a trial. So I bought that one, but this one I just used community. All right. Oh yeah, somebody said almost similar to Lombok. I know. So that's what I was thinking when records came out. This seems like so Lombok is like an external library that basically helped you with these Pojo type of things and help make that a little easier. So now it seems like records is something that's going to be built into Java. So I don't know like if there's still a place for Lombok. I agree. All right. You are very welcome, Penny. Congratulations. Everybody clap for Penny. She got promoted at work to a lead. So congratulations, Penny. This is my first session now. Wednesday evenings are saved for cookbook. Oh, thank you so much. Yes, yes, yes. Okay. Very nice. Okay, so let me go back to um this and we'll hide the chats. All right. So thank y'all so much for joining in with me. This was fun. It was a little bit stressful at times around the IDE stuff. But yeah, when you want to be like on the bleeding, cutting edge of stuff and play around with, with features that aren't technically released, you know, you got to kind of jump through some hoops to do so, unfortunately. But we got it. We got it working. So I'm going to write this up as a blog post with the gotchas, and I'll try to publish that either today or before the end of the week is out. All right. Okay, y'all. Bye. Thanks so much for tuning in again. See you next Wednesday. Okay. Oh, and for those who joined later, I am doing a webinar next week, so I'll be promoting that on all the social channels. The link, I don't have a link yet. I'll get that today, but basically it's called Java 8, Beyond Java 8. So I'll just be going through like some of the cool features that have been released in the recent versions of Java that I really like, specifically the ones that we can utilize to make our test code more efficient. So I'm probably going to live code that. It'll be more polished than this though. So don't expect like anything to break or whatever. I mean, it could because, you know, that's what live demos do, but that's not the plan. All right. All right. So somebody asked, what's the next recipe? I don't know the next recipe. If you have a request, send it to me. You can send it to me anywhere. Twitter, my website, LinkedIn. I basically go through you all's requests. Someone requested to have this API one, and I just coupled that with something I wanted to try out, which was records. So if you have a request, just send it in. I usually don't decide until the day before. All right, test data management. For test data management, y'all should really check out Paul Merrill's blog. Yes, remember to subscribe. That's my child looking out for me. Yeah. Paul Merrill has a post called like test data management or something, strategies for test data management. Check those out. All right. Okay. Okay. So bye everybody. Everybody else is just coming by. So bye. I'll let you all go. Have a wonderful day. Thank you so much for hanging out with me. This has really been a highlight of my week. All right. Okay. Take care. See ya.